Behind the Scenes Back to the Future Part 2, 1989. The remains of Little America 3 Antarctic Research Station abandoned in the early 40s, 1963. The Trial of Traitor Afanasyev on Kulturi Street in Kolpino, 1944. Shannon Doherty in the 1990s. Mariah Carey and then boyfriend Derek Jeter back in 1998. Three-wheeled vehicle. Valencia's flood, 1957. During its move to a new location, this house slipped off the transport truck, creating an incredibly bizarre sight. A Dutch woman refused to leave her husband, a German soldier, and goes with him to Allied captivity in Valchera, Netherlands, 1944. Stela Bee in the Maya site of Copan, Honduras. Dedicated August 18th, 731 CE or 9.15.0.0.04. Ahau 13, Yax, Maya long count date, 18. Rabbit appears as the god Chak, associated with Venus as evening star, Coney Island, 1905. Laughing Boy on Street in Trastevere, Rome, 1958. The national finals of the Model Power Boat Association races were held at Crooks Valley Park, Sheffield, on September 5, 1976. The 1980s Soviet informals. Dutch demonstrators in 1982 protesting against the closure of Slotervaart Hospital. The hospital remained open until going bankrupt in 2018. George W. Bush and his inner circle, photographed on December 2001. Women sitting on Umbrella Rock, 1900. Crowd in 1960, waiting to catch a glance of the popular band, the Beatles, as they come back from the United States to the United Kingdom. Georgine Darcy, Miss Torso, on set with Jimmy Stewart while filming Rear Window, Paramount, 1954. Lockheed F-5E2LO, Sky Queen, Miss Dean of the 33rd Photo Reconnaissance Squadron in Belgium, 1945. Melvin Sokolsky, Fly High, Paris, 1965. Paramedics and students run as they push the body of Kent State University student Jeffrey Miller on a gurney after he had been shot when the Ohio National Guard opened fire on anti-war protesters. Kent, Ohio, May 4th, 1970. A girl wearing glasses with windshield wipers. Paris, France, December 29th, 1971. Robin Williams as a Denver Broncos cheerleader in 1979. Ava Gardner and Sid Charisse on the set of East Side, West Side, MGM, 1949. Alternative fashion in Russia in the 1990s. Designs by Andrei Bartanev, 1993. David Copperfield as a child. Ava Gardner. When Roman sandals were in style, 1960s. In the 1960s, passers-by would get their weather updates from the Meteorological Office in London, with the latest news by the window. Jewish Berber woman with child, Morocco, taken around the 1930s. There is an island that was contaminated heavily by anthrax during World War II from large shipments around 200 tons. The island has earned the nickname Anthrax Island Photo from 1986. Myrna Kennedy and Charles Chaplin on the set of The Circus, 1928. French officers and soldiers with local residents at a grape harvest festival in Alsace, 1939. The Red Army in North China during its spiritual mobilization movement, part of preparations for the counter-offensives in the Sino-Japanese War, August 1939. J.R.R. Tolkien in uniform during World War I, 1916. Four-year-old Flora and her sister Jacqueline Couch in Leslie Country, Kentucky, 1949. American aircraft sink a Japanese Kaibuken C-class patrol ship. This is the Hiroshima Peace Memorial, the building that stood almost directly under the atomic bomb blast in 1945. When Little Boy detonated, it exploded about 600 meters above the city, nearly right over what is now known as the Genbaku Dome. Eminem playing a video game, 1999. 1954, light beams create a contour map of a human head during an Air Force study of jet pilot helmets. Moscow residents listened to the announcement of Nazi Germany's attack on the Soviet Union, June 1941. United States Marines raise a large American flag to replace a smaller flag, first raised at the summit of Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima, February 23, 1945. Men of the HMSAS Transvaal shake hands with an inhabitant of Marion Island. 1947, Marion Island. San Francisco earthquake and fire, April 18th, 1906 ruins at the intersection of Sutter, Powell and Stockton Streets. A Belgian girl holding a bucket up to a Canadian artillery horse, Belgium, November 1918. (1880) Northwestern Express Stage and Transportation Company in South Dakota. Oskar Schlemmer, costume for the Triadic Ballet, 1922. African-American GIS arrive in Bamber Bridge, United Kingdom, June 1943. French cavalry watching a plane fly by, circa 1916. Participants in a motorcycle rally in honour of the 10th anniversary of the October Revolution, Soviet motorcyclists completed an international rally through European countries, Moscow, Vienna, Berlin, Riga, Moscow. 1927. Houses right up against levees that can fail, United States Skagit River, November 1949 flood. Pontiac Club de Mer, 1956. Audrey Hepburn with her award for Best Actress for her role in the film Roman Holiday at the 26th Academy Awards at the NBC Century Theatre in New York City, 1954. Polish woman and her grandchildren shown in their American Red Cross evacuation camp as they await evacuation to new homes, Tehran, Iran, 1943. June 4th, 1989, student protests in Tiananmen Square. China's main square is awash with a sea of protesters. The Statue of Liberty is in the background. Freddie Mercury on stage at the Queen concert in Fort Worth, 1977. Boca Juniors Ultras at the Superclásico vs River Plate displaying a Soviet flag. The flag was stolen from USSR supporters at a 1990 World Cup match in Italy. Buenos Aires, Argentina, 1991. Stockpile of Indian Scout motorcycles getting ready to go over to World War II to be put in service. Natalie Wood goofing around at the Thalians Beach Ball in Malibu, 1956. The 3 finalists in the Slucks National Bathing Beauty Contest, Los Angeles, 1935. Statue of Liberty towering over Paris just before it was disassembled and shipped to New York, 1886. A stolen army helicopter sits on the south lawn of the White House. The daredevil pilot was forced down by a volley of shotgun blasts from federal police on the Executive Mansion grounds, 1974. A car for rollover stunts. Contestants of the Doris Day Lookalike Contest 1965. Mafia boss Charles Lucky Luciano in exile, Sicily, Italy, 31 December 1948. German prisoners escorted by members of the French resistance, France, 1944. Average scene of a boy skateboarding with a potted plant, also on its own skateboard. A Meal on Wheels, France, 1917. Residents walk through the ruins of Richmond, Virginia in April of 1865 Civil War. This picture is from Kathmandu, Nepal 1910, where the court cases and punishments used to be given in front of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. It was believed that no lie could survive under his gaze. This offbeat cat costume was worn by a man in France circa 1920. Two ladies light their cigarettes circa 1890s. Farrah Fawcett and Robin Clark, photo taken on the set of a film called Sunburn, 1979. Martians and Venusians, in a 1961 episode of TV series The Twilight Zone. Liv Tyler, Joaquin Phoenix, Jennifer Connelly, Billy Crudup and Joanna, going on the set of Inventing the Abbots, 1997. The San Francisco earthquake and fire, April 18, 1906. San Francisco in ruins, as seen from the corner of Mason and Bush Streets. The winner of the 1945 Miss America pageant, Bess Meyerson. Woman water skiing next to someone also water skiing while playing piano. Monica Bellucci, 1990s. Sami people in a traditional peat hut circa 1850. The Spirit of Australia, a jet-powered hydroplane designed and built by Australian mechanical engineer Ken Warby, with which he established the water speed record in 1978 at 511.11 kilometers per hour. Philippines fashion, 19th century 1899. Crisp, clear autochrome shot of ladies in traditional clothes from Salzburg, Austria, 1929. Jennifer Connelly, circa 1986. Linda Carter posing beside the fridge in the set of her show Wonder Woman, mid-1970s. Russian girl in national costume of the 19th century Arkhangelsk province. The remains of the Japanese troop and cargo ship Kyushumaru beached on the shores of Guadalcanal. Photo taken on the 3rd of March, 1945. The Most Beautiful Legs contest in Paris, 1936. Residents of liberated Bialystok communicate with Soviet tank crews, 1944. American athlete and Olympic gold medal winner Jesse Owens waves at fans during a ticker tape parade in honor of the United States athletes who competed in the Berlin Olympic Games in New York City on September 3, 1936. Kamikaze attacks on HMS Formidable, Okinawa, 1945. Photo from the Titanic movie set, 1997. Ava Gardner, 1940s. Madonna, 1979. San Francisco, earthquake and fire. April 18, 1906, ruins along Geary Street. A dove suddenly landed on Robert Plant's hand while he was performing with Led Zeppelin in 1973. Jeffrey Epstein in his youth. Krumlauf, a bent barrel attachment that allowed the STG-44 to shoot around corners, albeit very poorly. Sid Charisse, one of old Hollywood's greatest dancers, poses on the beach in Santa Monica, 1945. King George VI riding with his daughters, Princess Elizabeth, later Queen Elizabeth II, and Princess Margaret in Windsor Great Park, 21 April 1939. Children labouring in a forge during the Second French Empire, 1865. Leningrad, Children's Street after the flood of 1924. Naomi Sims, one of the first black supermodels, 1973 in New York. Fitness trainer Joseph Pilates trains opera singer Roberta Peters, 1951. Street photographer, Warsaw, 1946. Photo from the last Romanov costume ball held at Winter Palace, 1903. Yasmin Bleeth, 90s. Black Ataman Boris Vladimirovich Annenkov, one of the most brutal figures of the white movement in Siberia and Semerechia during the Russian Civil War, showing off his tattoos. Circa 1921. Berlin at the end of World War II, 1945. Dining at the Windows on the World, a restaurant located at the top of the World Trade Center, 1980s. Wounded soldiers of the British Expeditionary Force sing a song with nurses in a ward at a military hospital in London after returning from continental Europe, 1940. The bedroom where Marilyn Monroe was found dead, August 6, 1962. (1927). American President Calvin Coolidge and his wife Grace wish Americans a Happy New Year at the entrance to the White House, January 1st. Joe Lansing in the 1950s. Motorhorse, useful for learning to ride, Italy, 1933. Times Square in New York City, United States, photographed in circa 1908. Soviet Il-2 attack aircraft from the 4th Air Army, Aviation Colonel General K. A. Vershinin, in the skies over Berlin, World War II. Elvis Presley, serving in Germany, 1958. Stuntmen. Betty and Benny Fox perform a stunt on the roof of a building while a crowd watches. 1911, possibly Mississippi. Girl works all day in a cannery. Frightening Popeye costume from 1935. Elton John, Soviet Union, 1979. Scouts from the First Baltic Front are leading a tongue, a prisoner specifically captured for the purpose of obtaining information about the enemy, captured in Belarus, 1943. French soldiers lead German prisoners captured during the clearing of the Royan Pocket, 1945. January 1917. Wounded soldiers have tea at a New Year's party during World War I. Presentation of the Guards banner to the commander of the 39th Rifle Division, Stalingrad, January 3, 1943.